Hey, Cornerstone family. It sure is good to see you guys one more time. As we, Stephanie and I, get an opportunity to break down Pastor Joey's book, The Prophetic Journey, the God of Our Tight Places. It's been an honor to be a part of this movement the past few weeks, and this is our opportunity to share the power of prophecy, from a tight place to a resurrected place, from a tight place to a resurrected place. And so we just get an opportunity to do that. And so this is what we're going to ask you guys to do. One, get your stuff, right? Get a book, get you something to drink, get you something to write with, and go on this little journey with us, as well as maybe you can share, you can follow, you can host a watch party, you can do all of those things. Only good likes, only thumbs ups, and I don't know if they do smiley faces and hearts and all of that. That's all we're asking for. I'm not asking for anything else other than that. So if you can do that, that'd be awesome. And we're going to jump right into this because we feel like this is a really, really great book, a great chapter in the book, and we get an opportunity to share with you our thoughts based on what we have learned by reading chapter 8. Chapter 8. So you ready, Stephanie?
I am.
Are y'all ready? Because here we go. Chapter 8. Ezekiel 37 is the background for this particular chapter. Ezekiel 37 is when God had a vision, or God gave Ezekiel a vision. He gave Ezekiel a vision of the dry bones. And so within this vision, it was during a moment or during a time where Ezekiel was in captivity. And while he was in captivity for multiple years, like 10 plus years, he was in captivity, God spoke to him. And that was the first point, Stephanie, that I got from that, is that when you're in the middle of a horrible situation, when you're in the middle of captivity, when you're in the middle of these things, God can still speak to you. And so there's hope there, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of isolation. Some of us is in the middle, if we can be honest, of doubt and fear. All these different things. We're not unsure. We're unsure of what's coming next. But God can still speak by way of this particular chapter. And I'm just, as I'm sitting here thinking right now, is that when Pastor Joey wrote this, he didn't know that we were going into this pandemic. He didn't know that we were going into these situations. But this speaks to us right now. That in the middle of our captivity, some of us feel captive in our house. Not me, though. I'm enjoying being in the house with this girl all day, every day. I'm enjoying that. But some of us feel captive in our homes. And we may not feel like God can speak to us. But in the middle of all that, God can speak to us. And so when he had that dream or vision, Stephanie, he had a dream or vision of a valley full of dry bones, a valley full of not just dry bones, but very dry bones. And there's something significant in that. In the book, Pastor Jordan begins to break down what that word means. The word dry. And the word dry means to be shameful, to be full of shame, to be confused, and to be disappointed. And so in those moments, man, have you ever been found yourself feeling shameful or feeling confused or feeling disappointed, and it just sucks? And sometimes you don't even know how. Can I say sucks? Well, I said it twice, so it's all right. It just sucks 3 times. It just sucks 4 times to be in the middle of all of that. But sometimes God allows others, Stephanie, God allows others to help bring you out. What do you think? God allows others to help bring you out.
Yes, he does. He allows others to stand in the gap. Joey mentions this in his book. The vision that God gave Ezekiel had helped him understand that God is the God of all of our tight places, and that regardless of what seems to be going on at the time, he is for us. And according to Romans 8:31, if he is for us, who can stand against us? God was reassuring Ezekiel that all he needed was someone to stand in the gap and prophesy life, and let him do the rest. God will do the same for you. He's done it for us. And he will do it for you. We just have to allow him to. And if we just learn the power of prophecy.
Yeah, and the awesome thing about it is that this takes us right into the first PowerPoint. Is that we have the power in our own voice, Stephanie. The power is in our voice, our voice. So if you think about this, when Ezekiel was inside of that valley, looking at the dry bones in their vision, God asked him a question. And he says, Ezekiel, can these bones live? He didn't ask him the question because he didn't know what the answer was. He asked him the question so Ezekiel could know what the answer was. Right? So God knows everything. He said, can these bones live? Ezekiel says, God, you know. And the next thing he says was what you just spoke about, the power of his voice. He says, okay, you speak to these bones. It's up to you to speak to these bones. It's up to you to declare to these bones. It's up to you to declare to the dryness of these bones. And sometimes we live a life where in the first PowerPoint that we don't realize that there's power in our voice. Sometimes we go through things and the shame and the confusion and the disappointment will cause us to lose our voice. Or feel like our voice isn't powerful enough, but we're here to tell you that you still got a voice. In the midst of all of that, you still have a voice. By way, not only we're here to tell you, but in this book, if you take a moment and read and get down into this book, you will see in my prophetic journey, I can go through various valleys, but God is still there. And when God is still there, yes, he is always there. He never leaves us nor forsakes us. He is always there. So in the midst of it all, the first PowerPoint that Pastor Joy gives us is that there's power in our voice. There's power, so we can't keep silent. You can't keep silent any longer. You speak it. You declare it. When you are at home by yourself, if I can be really honest, this chapter is like a preacher's chapter because you can just preach all over this thing right here. Because when you're at home by yourself, Stephanie, like one of the things I like to do in our home, and you guys are just getting myself and Stephanie and Aaron and Ramona and Adrian and Fernando, you're getting like the insides of our home. But one of the things I like to do is when my wife goes upstairs to take a shower, I like just to walk upstairs quietly, and I like to just to sneak in our room and like to hear her, because she gets in a mode where she's by herself and I could hear her speaking life, and she doesn't know I'm around. And it's just so awesome, because when God does that, it excites me. It excites what God is doing in our home. It changes the atmosphere. So you have the opportunity right where you are is to change the atmosphere of your house, because you have the power of your voice. Once you have the power of your voice, the second PowerPoint that Pastor Joy was talking about is prophecy is expressing the heart of God, and it is a spirit of affirmation. Now, there is something good to this here, is that God is looking for people, us, Stephanie. God is looking for us to affirm somebody else. I also got from this, Stephanie, is that God is saying, I didn't come to beat you down. I came to lift you. It doesn't matter what situation we're in. We have the ability with our words to build or to tear down. And God is saying, with those moments, with those opportunities, I've given you the ability to speak life. I give you the ability to affirm. Affirm is bringing it back together, not ripping it apart. I give you the ability to do those things. And when you do those things, you have the opportunity to operate in one of those principles of prophecy. There's a principle of prophecy according to Mark 11:23, right? That Pastor Joy begins to reveal. What was that principle of prophecy he reveals?
It says, for assuredly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that believes that those things he says will be done. He will have whatever he says.
Yeah.
What I want you to grasp from this particular text is that it's important for you to speak to your mountains.
Yeah.
Because your mountain knows your voice. Your mountain will respond better to you because it's your mountain. Yeah. And my mountain will respond better to me because it's my voice.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of your mountain. Open up your mouth and let it hear your voice.
Let it hear you, huh?
Yes.
Let it hear you.
Yes.
Your mountain, our mountain is different, right? But our mountain will respond differently. According to Mark 11:23, it will respond differently when I speak to it than when someone outside of my home may speak to it.
Yes. So whatever your mountain is, whether it is depression, whether it's divorce, whether it's your children, an addiction, whatever it is that you're going through, just always remember that no matter what you do, you've got to speak to it, and speak life, and just move that mountain. Tell that mountain to take a back seat.
Back seat, get out the way. Get out the way,
Yes.
mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's very important that we understand that in that affirmation of a dad like you are, or a parent, you're affirming that when you speak, I got you. And so in the affirmation that when we speak, God is saying, I got you. So when you speak to the mountain, it's you releasing the God that's inside of you. That's one thing that Ezekiel had to realize, that God was trying to tell him, man, it's just not you, Ezekiel. It's me inside of you. You can't just do this in your own will. You have to do this in my will. Speak the word. You speak what I tell you to speak, and then it activates God to move in those situations, and it affirms God. So if you are constantly, or if you have people constantly speaking negativity to you, or prophesying negativity or judgment or condemnation, that's not God. God is saying, I'm bringing you life. I'm speaking life. I'm going to affirm you. I'm going to cause all these broken areas to come together and rattle at times, but it's coming into alignment. And once they come into alignment, I'm going to bring substance on those so that it can come back to life. So it brings forth fruit. God, when you speak a word of prophecy, it's going to bring forth fruit in your life and those lives around you. So it affirms. And finally, when you speak prophesy, or when you speak the word, or when you prophesy, you need to speak strength. You need to speak healing and recovery. And when you do those three things, you speak strength, you speak healing, and you speak recovery, you will watch your situation rise up again. Are you kidding me? You will watch the solution come up. You said stand up. It's going to stand up. Like I said, this is like a preacher's thing. And I told Stephanie she's going to be preaching. I'm going to get up and move out the way because I'm going to give her an offer and everything, because this is like a preacher's moment. This is something that should affirm you on this Monday morning. This should affirm you and say, you know what? I'm not going into this week beat down, broken, because I can speak to my situation.
That's right.
Proverbs 18:21 says, there's power of life and death is in my tongue, and I will eat the fruit of it. So if I'm eating the fruit, I only want good fruit. I'm not eating rotten fruit. And so if I can speak life into that, if I can speak life, and I'm going to 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 speak life until I eat the fruit, the positive fruit for my life. And the end result, man, here's the end result. That what you declare according to the word, his word won't return back to him void. It won't return back to him, not to you, back to him void. You throw it out, it goes back to him, and it won't return void. It will not return void. It will accomplish the very thing that it's sent out to do. So speak the word. So let's do this real quick. Let's take 60 seconds and you think about something inside of your family, inside of your house, inside of a situation, and I'm going to challenge you. We're going to challenge you to think about it. You thought about it? You see it? Now we're going to activate this. What this book says is a prophetic journey from a tight place to a resurrected place. It may be dead right now, it may be bones, but you can speak life. We can speak life. Me and my wife can speak life. My wife and I and my kids can speak life. Just if it's just you and your kids, speak life. If it's you and your dog, speak life. It doesn't matter. You speak life. And when you speak life, you say today is the last day that I'm going to be busted, disgusted, depressed, lacking, hurt. On today's the last day. I am a king's kid. I am the royal priesthood. I am chosen. I am all the things that God has for me. It belongs to me. And I'm going to take the peace of God, and I'm going to take the love of God, the joy of God, the long suffering of God. I'm going to take those things for me, and I'm going to think on those things, and then I'm going to declare it. Somebody be bold enough on there and say, for me and my house. It says we will serve the Lord, but won't you say, for me and my house, there's healing. For me and my house, there's deliverance. For me and my house, whatever it is, for me and my house, and do what the book is telling us to do. Prophesy, strength, healing, and recovery. And it says, watch your solution stand up. Because that's exactly what Ezekiel did in Ezekiel 37. He looked at some dry bones and prophesied, spoke to them, and rattling came. Things came into alignment. Ligaments came to grow on it. Muscles grew on it. Sinew, all these different things. Skin came on it. And then he spoke again in the life of God. He spoke from the north, east, south, and west, and the breath of God came in, and life came. If he can do it for Ezekiel, Stephanie, he can do it for us. And so we hope that you will take this week, just this week, and prophesy to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and prophesy to yourself. Find it in the Word and prophesy to yourself. And keep saying it until you see it manifest. Man, Stephanie, you did a great job. Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Say it one more time.
Don't give up. Keep prophesying.
Don't you dare give up. We triple dog dare you not to give up. And keep declaring the word over you and your family. And watch what God does. Girl, you did a great job. Good job. We hope that y'all got something from that. We hope that there was something that you got encouraged. And finally, to be really honest, we probably skimmed over quite a bit of what that chapter was. So you need to go get the book. Yeah, you need to go get it.
It's a really, really good book, guys.
Yeah.
It's very informative.
Very.
It breaks everything down for you.
Yeah, so you really need to get it just so that you can dig deep into what God is saying. With that, man, Thursday's coming. Aaron and Ramon is going to give an awesome word or a breakdown of the next chapter coming up. And so we appreciate you for watching. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Don't forget, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, we have service, and as well as Sunday at 9 o'clock, not 10 o'clock. 9 and 11. Catch us on Facebook as well as YouTube. Cornerstone Tri-Cities. It's going to be good. So we thank y'all. Once again, girl, you did a great job.
Thank you.
And
We
you
miss
look
you
good
guys.
too. She misses y'all. I miss you too. I miss you too. We love you guys. We miss you. We can't wait to see you. It's coming soon. We pray that it's coming sooner than later. We love y'all. Y'all be blessed.
Stay safe.
Stay home. Stay safe. And y'all be blessed. We love y'all.